Destructible Podcast.
Welcome everyone to episode 8 of the podcast. Today we have Mr. Daigle.
Hey guys.
And today we're teaching health. So, that's the subject, teaching health. Anyway, so Mr. Daigle, out of all the positions that we have here in the high school, why did you want to go with being the health teacher?
The biggest reason that I would work here as a health teacher, the first thing would be the fact that I am a registered nurse with years of experience, so that would align me with the health program. But the reason I got into teaching health was because of my time as a nurse in teaching or dealing with other employees and staff and going over certain procedures and treatments and protocols, that I found that I actually liked being that person that was teaching somebody something. And when somebody asked if we'd be interested in teaching an LNA program, my wife and I jumped on it, and that started me down the road of being a health teacher.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so how long have you been doing this for, just the right the nursing?
I've been in the health care field for about 32 years. I started as an EMT when I was 19. And I became a firefighter before that when I was 18, and then went into being an EMT. It was actually when I was an EMT that I realized I really enjoyed helping and being there for people. So I decided to make that a career and went to school for it, and that was about 32 years ago when I was 19.
Yeah, so you've been doing this for a long time.
Yes, I have.
You have a lot of experience.
I do, yeah.
I imagine Mrs. O'Hara, as the other health teacher, I'm sure she has a lot of experience as well.
Yeah, she does, and she has it in different fields than I do, such as the NICU, which deals with really ill infants. She has a lot of experience in that.
All right. So, what other jobs would you have persuaded if you couldn't teach health?
Before I actually went to school to be a nurse, I worked in the trades, carpentry, electrical, and plumbing, and I really enjoyed that. So I think if I hadn't turned down the road of healthcare provider, I would have stayed in the trades field.
Wow. So as we move on with the episode, do you teach anywhere else other than here at LHS? If you do, where else do you teach?
Well, currently I also work at White Mountains Community College as the medical assistant teacher for clinical and theory. So, over at the college.
All right. And that's here in Littleton?
Yeah, well, that's where that class is. The college's main branch is in Berlin, but I do teach at the Littleton campus. Yep.
All right. How is it there?
I like it. You see, it's a different aspect of student. You see, instead of your typical high school student in the same age bracket for a class, you see people who have just graduated, and you see people who have been doing something else for years that have decided to change what they want to do for a living. So you get a much broader clientele.
All right. As some people might want to go into health who might listen to this, do you have any advice for any people out there who might persuade being a health teacher or AMT, helping people out?
So if they want to go into healthcare or teaching, which one, or both? one are you thinking?
Just mainly, I guess, healthcare in general.
So the nice thing about going into healthcare is that there is so many different aspects and disciplines of it. That's one of the best things I think about being a registered nurse. It has a wide variety of flexibility, or even a nursing assistant. You can work in long-term care facilities of geriatrics. You can work in the fast-paced ER. You can work in the day-to-day healthcare of med-surg. You can then start to go into specific areas such as cardiology, work with people's hearts. You can go into just surgery. There's just so many different aspects of it that as long as you enjoy working and trying to help people get better, there will be something that you find interesting.
All right. So, my dad's cousin is actually a registered nurse.
Ah, cool. What area does he work in?
Well, she actually works in, I'm pretty sure, I can't exactly remember, I think somewhere in Colorado.
Okay.
I know we're all the way over here in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Across the whole country.
Yeah,
But
right.
that has a long-lost cousin. Well, not long-lost, we met last year. Last time we met up. Anyway, would you open your own store for help equipment like heart rate machines, blood pressure machines, stuff like that?
No, I wouldn't. And the reason for that is in my years of working as a nurse, I've had to deal with the companies that do supply those. So they're called durable medical equipment is what those pieces are called. And there is a lot of running around and a lot of dealing with the insurance companies and the red tape and paperwork around that to just hand over a device to somebody and have them go on their way. There isn't really the feeling of accomplishment when you help somebody through something or when you teach somebody how to do something new. So I know I would not find that job fulfilling.
All right. And anyway, what kind of degrees do you have in this industry, and when did you graduate college? Well, if you're okay with telling us your degrees.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I graduated from college with my associate's degree in the science of nursing in 1995 from Wesley College in Dover, Delaware. I have a lot of other certifications and specialties that I've learned along the way. I've taken a bunch of other college courses, but I've never gone back and combined them to move on to the bachelor's or associate's degree. Definitely in healthcare, whether you be an LPN or an RN, once you are licensed as an LPN or an RN, your overall education doesn't mean anything. What means is anything is how well you can do the job at that point, because you all have the licensure, you all have the same level of ability at that per that license. So it's then what you can do with it. It's kind of like, did you go through driver's ed and get your license when you were 16, or did you wait till you're 18 and just test out? As soon as you have the license, it doesn't really matter. You're both licensed drivers and can do the same things. It just matters how well you do it from there on.
Yeah. And that reminds me of a few things, actually.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and, Mrs. Bromley.
Yeah.
They actually graduated together in 1995 as well.
Oh, okay.
And also, you said RN for registered nurse and LN, right?
LNA, yeah.
What's LNA?
Oh, licensed nursing assistant.
All right.
So they work directly under the nurses as far as responsibility. There's a hierarchy of responsibility.
All right. So,
I say these abbreviations so often, I forget that not everybody remembers what they are.
Because, making this episode, the definition for LNA is actually going to be useful for me because obviously when I get out there after high school, I'm probably going to use that. It would be helpful to know that.
So, oh, yeah, definitely.
So you're actually teaching me something
yeah,
here.
Exactly. There we go.
I learned something making this episode.
That's right.
And also, driver's ed. I actually plan on taking that after April break.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
Yeah, it just happens to make
So I need to start taking the bus? Stay off the roads?
No, everyone I've said that to, like Scott at elementary school, the custodian, Keith, with custodian, and a few other people said, tell me when you got your license so then I can return mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Return my car, my license. Of course, jokingly, they say that because, we all know me. I can be reckless, but when I'm driving, I won't be. Because that's how you die.
No, definitely. Or kill somebody else, even worse.
Because I do not want to hurt anyone. Hence, I want to take driver's ed and get a lot of practice from our best teachers for that.
Yeah, so you're doing it right here through the high school?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
So, do you have any, would any of your friends want to do this type of job as well?
Well, my best friend, my wife, does it. That's where we met, was in college.
Oh, wow.
So, she's a registered nurse.
Yeah, I feel like most marriages and most people who start dating and a person that they marry, they might meet them in college. Which I feel like, I know you're seeing this game, but I'm just playing with it. I need to get a Bluetooth mouse or microphone, but then again, Bluetooth is worse than direct cable. Anyway, what year did you meet your wife?
I met her in 92. Yep, 1992 is when I met her.
That's almost 3 decades ago. Well, just over, actually.
Yeah.
That's like 31 years.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah. Anyway, so you guys have known each other for so long.
Yes, we have.
We're not trying to make you feel old or anything.
No, that's all right. I don't mind. Age is nothing but a number. And my experiences who has helped make me who I am.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't trade all those experiences for anything. That's why we got together.
Yeah. And my grandfather, technically could go back because he has the degrees, but he retired since in 2019. He was a pharmacist for a long, long time.
Oh. And, that's a really stressful and important job.
Yeah, especially when when my grandfather and my mother had my older sister. Of course, the firstborn. They went to they happened to be in Woodsville, I'm pretty sure, and they went to the pharmacy that my grandfather was working at, and then they're like, some stuff happened, and then some stuff. My grandfather was like, "Why are you here? Not at the birthing center," because that was 2004. So my grandfather yelled down in the hall, "I need 2 nurses with a wheelchair."
Oh, jeez.
And then 2 nurses came down. "What do you need a wheelchair for?" "My daughter's in labor." And then they run. They sprint down the hallway. Godspeed to get a wheelchair. Then they go across the street to the Cottage Hospital.
Oh, okay. So they went to the pharmacy instead to the hospital to have the kid. Okay.
Because my mom knew my grandfather was working there that day.
Yeah, she wanted to go see her dad first.
She's like, "Dad, what do I do? I'm in labor." So
go next door and have the kid. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's good that my mom went to my grandfather.
Was it you she was having?
No, my older sister.
Oh, okay.
I was born in 06.
All right.
22 months of age difference between me and my sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so do you plan to switch to a new job or retire anytime soon?
Retired? No. And I have no plans to switch to a new job.
So you don't plan to retire or switch anytime soon?
No.
Well, that's good.
Still got a few years before I make that age bracket.
Yeah.
No matter how old you keep trying to make me feel.
Yeah. Well, just because you meet the minimum requirement age for being able to retire doesn't mean you need to retire.
True. Exactly.
You could be working here at like the age of 80, even though you might not want to.
Yep.
But, it's still possible. Who says you can't be working at 80?
Yeah, nobody.
if you're looking like Moses, you can certainly do it. If that's offensive, I am sorry. Yeah, anyway, since you do leave around, 10 to 11?
Yeah.
What do you do after that? Do you go to your other job?
Yeah, 2 days a week right now. And going to the other job next year, it looks like it's going to be 3 or 4 days out of the week.
Wow.
I'll be going to there because it looks like we're going to have more students in the courses. So we'll have to add additional days. Excuse me. And then typically I go home and just do stuff with my wife and do things around the house or whatever. Got a fair amount of responsibility there because she's in a wheelchair. Unfortunately,
that.
she had a tumor explode in her back.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I've just adapted as I can. So gives me more time.
I send my best luck to your wife. Is anything still going on now, or is that too personal?
Oh no. Well, I mean, she's gonna be paralyzed for the rest of her life, unfortunately. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
so there's always something going on. But so that's why I take that additional time as long as I can, as much as I can.
But your wife is perfectly fine now. She's okay now.
Well, I wouldn't say okay. Unfortunately, she's not considered a complete paralyzed patient. So she has pain and spasms that occur. So with people that are a complete spinal cord injury, it means that they feel nothing. There's no movement. There's no biofeedback, no pain or anything. With her being an incomplete, the fact that she can't use the legs does not prevent her from feeling any pain and discomfort. And there's a lot of spasms and things like that. So it becomes an issue for her on a daily basis. So I try to help her through those things.
Well, all right, and it is about 12:35, and thanks for watching the episode. There's going to be a horde of Miss O'Hara students coming in a few minutes. So thanks for tuning in for the episode, and thanks, Mr. Daigle, for being part of the podcast.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.
I'll do it again if you want me to.
Now, of course, I'll always keep you updated like I keep everyone else updated.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Colin. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
See ya.